Yes, guys, how you doing? Welcome back to the Spurs Talk Show. I am Sean Butler. This is the second video of the day. I did promise you a second video of the day. I hope that it finds you well, in good health. I hope you're enjoying your weekend. Bugsy Malone's downstairs. She's exhausted. She's been out for too many walks today. Hashtag too much time out. But let me ask you some favors before we get into it. And it's an interesting video today. It's an interesting story for your second transfer news, views, and clues. We're going to get into it straight away. But please smash the like button on the video like you always do, but promise me you're only doing it if you enjoy the content. I don't want your freebies. I want to earn your likes. I want to earn your thumbs. So smash the like button if you enjoy it. Hit the subscribe if you haven't already. We're about 150 people away from 19K, 1,150 away from 20K. It's quite cool and we're approaching it fairly quickly. Hit the notification bell and drop a comment. Let me know your thoughts on today's topic. And this is a story that started off in Football Talk. I've never heard of them, but then all the aggregators have picked it up, and subsequently it's also doing the rounds on Twitter. It's been mentioned by some big-time journalists, and this is the story about Arthur Vermeeren. I'm going to read it out for you. Arsenal and Tottenham Hotspur have reportedly opened talks with Royal Antwerp over a deal to sign Arthur Vermeeren in the coming transfer window. As per the 90-minute journalist Graham Bailey, Spurs have been looking to sign a new midfielder since last summer. They were linked with a few options, with Conor Gallagher being mentioned as the primary target. We spoke about Conor Gallagher a couple of days ago. However, they couldn't manage to sign anyone before the deadline. Now it seems, having failed to reinforce their engine room in the recently concluded window, Tottenham are looking to do that in January. Gallagher was thought to be their priority target, but he's now established himself as a key member of Mauricio Pochettino's first 11 at Chelsea. So it's highly unlikely that the Blues will allow the departure of the Englishman. Not least, of course, because he's also Chelsea through and through. As you lovely little lot told me, everybody in the comments just dismissed the Conor Gallagher story. I think it was on Monday or Tuesday that I put out, because he is Chelsea and he's also captain now. So, you know, those winds have changed direction. And this guy, Arthur Vermeeren, is seemingly the guy. Writing on Twitter, Bailey has reported that Tottenham are keen on signing Vermeeren, and they've already opened formal talks with Antwerp to secure the 18-year-old signature. It's been suggested that the Belgian side could accept a fee of around 15 million to sell Vermeeren, so the Lily Whites can manage to acquire the youngster's services for an affordable price. However, Bailey states that securing Antwerp star signature won't be straightforward for Tottenham, as Arsenal are also plotting a swoop for him, and they have made contact with the Belgian side to purchase the midfielder as well. In addition, the journalist claims that apart from Arsenal and Tottenham, Manchester City, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, Borussia Dortmund, and Juventus are also keen on purchasing him. So it is apparent that the North London clubs are set to face tough competition from their rivals in getting any potential deal done. Bailey said in his tweet, Manchester City, Arsenal, and Tottenham have all been in contact with Royal Antwerp over midfielder Arthur Vermeeren. Barca, Munich, Dortmund, Juve are all keen on the highly rated 18-year-old. Vermeeren is an excellent, extremely talented player, and he would be a great coup for Arsenal or Tottenham if either club managed to secure his signature. However, it remains to be seen whether Arsenal or Tottenham eventually manage to sign the Belgian international in the upcoming transfer window. Guys, let me tell you a little bit about Arthur Vermeeren. So I haven't heard too much about him, forgive me, but you know I always go and do my due diligence as best I can using the tools available to me. I get myself on the Y Scout, I do my data and analysis and all that stuff, and I come up with a theory, I come up with an opinion. It might be wrong, it might be right, but it is what it is. And here's what I will say. His playing style, he's not a massive frame, he's not a huge guy, but he's quite strong physically. He's very, very comfortable from what I've seen in close contact situations. He's been known as the next Iniesta. If you go and do your highlight reels on YouTube, you'll see someone putting a video out saying, is this the next Kevin De Bruyne? I mean, Iniesta and De Bruyne are chalk and cheese in terms of their capacities as a midfielder. We know De Bruyne is more of a kind of the creative guy, but this guy can play as a DM. I think the argument would be to play him or to bring him in as an 18-year-old and allow him to kind of work as understudy to Basuma in the 6 and potentially play him as a midfielder, maybe to kind of allow him and Pape Sarr to figure out who's the cream of the crop in terms of the youth players in our midfield. He's been, I think, really impressive from what I've seen of him. He stood out in his defensive duties that he's had to take on. According to reports, he's been watched by scouts all season. Barcelona, as I say, are still looking to fill that void from Sergio Busquets. And this guy's defensive stability, has opened the door for Premier League clubs to kind of move in. He is considered to be one of the best young central midfielders in Europe. Eric Ten Hag has made him the top priority for the winter transfer window. And this article I'm reading now says he could actually be a good fit alongside Casemiro because he's very accurate and a tenacious tackler who likes an active style of defending by getting into challenges and pressing opponents to win balls in difficult positions and retain possession. He has a superb work rate and can also work with his weaker left foot, and his recovery rate is one of his special attributes. He's a very interesting modern-day midfielder with an interesting mix of a ball-winning midfielder and a controlling midfielder. Give you a little bit of history on the guy. Vermeeren was born in 2005 in Belgium. He was an integral part of Antwerp's side that won the Belgian title last season. Vermeeren played over 3,000 minutes for Royal Antwerp last season, became a regular in the side as they finished third in the regular season for the Belgian League. He's just got his promotion into the full Belgian team. I think last night or yesterday or 2 days ago, was it? He played his debut. I think his first ever appearance for Belgium's full team. He's played many games for their under 18s, 17s, 21s, all that stuff. In modern day football, his style of play can be compared with Joshua Kimmich's style of play. Vermeeren has the ability to be a regular starter for a big club and the kind of clubs trying to approach him. He can improve as a player and develop his game under the likes of Xavi, Ten Hag, Jurgen Klopp, or Big Ange Postecoglou. His future is bright looking at his last season highlights and the start he has had to this season. Look, for me, guys, I think he's already scored a goal. I think he's already got an assist. And this guy he reminds me of the kind of role that you need from a Tottenham number 6. He wants to get involved. He's press resistant. He wants to press himself if he's played more in the advanced 8. But I think his better role could be in the 6. His passing range is incredible. He's got a great vision. And he's a creative player as well who can find that killer pass. So you bring in a player like this, and you can either let him play understudies to Basuma, or you can let him mix it up with Pape Sarr and Bentancur and let him play in the kind of second 8 role. He can get across the park as well. And as I say, for me, exciting, interesting. And this fits the Tottenham model. We're speaking about it all day, all week, every single video. Does the player that we're looking for fit the model? Is it youth-centric? Is there a potential sell-on value? Is there a way that we can find additional value in that area of Tottenham's revenue stream generation that isn't particularly fine-tuned at the moment? It's been an absolute mess over the last 4 or 5 years, and that is, of course, player trading. We buy players for too expensive. We can't sell them. We loan them out. We let their contracts run down. I think we have 5 players this season that are running out of contract. Most of them we don't want. And so, we're going to be getting rid of that final part of the deadwood. But going forward, I think that Tottenham are looking for these players that won't cost the earth now, and then they can add value to the team either immediately if they're good enough, or in the next year or two if they're not quite there yet. But ultimately, you can then also see the value, see the progression, and then make ends meet and increase your revenue generation, increase your net profitability, increase all of those numbers with regard to FFP by selling them on in the future if they don't end up being the guy. Tottenham have got a brilliant track record with Belgian players. We know Toby Alderweireld, obviously, and Jan Vertonghen, just to name a couple. This guy, for me, from what I've seen of him, is really, really interesting. I spent a lot of the day today figuring out whether or not this guy is just a flash in the pan, another guy with good stats in a kind of farmers league or whatever. But actually, if you go and do your Y Scout research or the highlight and low light reel, wherever you can find it, you'll see a player for me that I think fits this system. I've already shown you his stats on the screen. To me, he's in the top 10 percentile from basically everything you could possibly want from a midfielder. I know it's against Belgium league opposition. It's not the first time that a good player has emerged out of the Belgium leagues, and it certainly won't be the last. To me, I'm really interested in this one. And then when you know that all these other big teams are also looking at him, you probably need to move fast and get it done. And Tottenham right now have a value proposition, a sales pitch that can be taken to the agents of these sorts of players and say, look what we're doing here. Look what we're bringing in. Look at Pape Sarr. Look at Destiny Udogie. Look at the youth that's coming through. Look at our under-21 system. We are youth-centric. We're going to give these players the chance and let them sink or swim. Throw them in at the deep end. And for me, Arthur Vermeeren is a player that I'd be very keen and happy with if Tottenham were to do the business. Like I say, though, it's early days for his career. It's early days for my knowledge on him, but it's one of those people that you pin in your scouting tools and you keep a close eye on and see how they progress. And hopefully Tottenham won't get gazumped and we can go and move in on a player like this in the January window if the opportunity presents itself. For me, I'm going to give it 2 thumbs up. Let me know your thoughts, guys. Have you seen or heard of Arta? Is it Arta Vermeeren or Arthur Vermeeren? I don't know how you say his first name in that part of the world, but we got a track record with Belgian players and they do well at Tottenham. I'm on board with this one. Are you? Let me know. Like, subscribe, and comment, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. As always, bye-bye.